tonight you have something also tonight to offer.
Yeah.
That's a free giveaway, and it's called what's it called again? Your Wild Lion?
Awaken the Wild Lion Within.
Awaken Your Wild Lion Within.
Yeah, it's a coaching tool. Yeah.
Can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Well, first of all, I created it today for you. So it's my birthday today, and I was like, you know what, let's do this thing. And if you're watching this as a replay, it's still available. It's going to be on this exact link, abundancecoaching.ca/lion.
Check that out. Scott gives gifts away on his birthday.
Yeah, sure.
So this is a birthday gift from Scott on his birthday. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's my life. You know, the day that I'm not giving back is the day I might as well just have 6 feet of dirt on top of me. That's the way it should be. You know, like I'm
you
obviously
give and then
giving.
you receive.
Yeah.
That's kind of your approach to this.
No, actually,
No?
I just give, and you know, like abundance happens no matter what. Like that's just my attitude is abundance, and it's not just like, hey, I'm gonna give, and it's like my hope is just like, hey, if I give this over here to this person,
Right.
then I'm gonna get something
You don't have an
back.
expectation, but it just happens.
Yeah, abundance does happen. Like
Right.
it's a godly principle.
Right.
And you know, Jesus Christ came so that we would not have to live, you know, like the thief kills, steals, and divides, right? But we wouldn't have to live in that. He came so we may have life abundantly, and that's just my belief systems. I take that word as the word of what it is, and that's really where abundance coaching, I guess, the foundation of it comes from. And this Awakening the Wild Lion Within is essentially a 5-page tool all about helping you awaken the wild lion within you. It's about taking back your roar. It's about taking back just the life that you want to have, that you desire to have. It's about identifying the fact, just like we said, that there's something passionate, there's something that's deep inside of your gut that you want to have, that you want to live with more. I have a series of questions that I think are really powerful at the end of this that you really could just dive into. Because the reality is that we live in a prison, I guess, if you want to just metaphorically think about it. We live in a prison in our inner self in a lot of ways. And I help people imagine that there's this tame lion walking around in this prison. And this tame lion, you know, wants to be wild. Like it was created to be wild. But the more it's tamed and inside the prison, the more it just accepts that its master is just going to give it the meat that it needs, and its master is just going to, you know, tame it even more, and that's just life. But I challenge you to believe that you're not tamed. You are meant to be wild. You're born wild. You're wild at heart. And there's something deep and driving and necessary for you to actually do in your life and be courageous about, and to be like the wild lion, the real wild lion that's out there. And this tool will help you do that. This tool will unlock a lot of great things. And of course, at the very end of it, it wouldn't be complete if you actually didn't get an invitation to do coaching. And I am totally fine with just soliciting that, because I think coaching is one of the best things that people could do to advance themselves, to really awaken that wild lion and be in your full potential, live in your full potential. And that's what this program will help you do, is to get the start on that. Right. And then if you want to get coaching after that to help really unlock and release that wild lion so they can really just flourish and be in its full potential, then you can do that.
And how do you get the free gift? How do you do it?
It's going to be right here on the TV page. And I'm going to put a link right as soon as this episode's done. For the people that are watching live, you can just go open a new window, because there's another video, I think, that you said we're going to play,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you can just go to abundancecoaching.ca/LION, lion. So abundancecoaching.ca/lion.
And there'll be a link, a button there you can push, and you get it.
Yeah, if you just go to that web address, you're right there.
Okay.
You bet. Yeah.
Okay. And you have a video along the lines of Awaken Your Lion Within.
Yeah.
And I think we can have a look at it right now.
You bet. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I call out to you to awaken the lion within you. My 2.5-year-old son has a lion puppet. It's cute and it's cuddly. To most adults in the world, this lion puppet is just a simple puppet, sitting on a shelf, waiting as the world passes it by. But to my son, this is a wild lion, and it roars! It's the king of the jungle. It strikes fear into the hearts of its enemies. It chases without mercy. It has courage and bravery. When you were my son's age, you had a wild lion within you. And that wild lion was ready to be the king of the jungle. Yet many people tame their wild lion that's within them, and they lock it up in a cage, causing it to be left to the mercy of other people. I call out to you today to release the wild lion within you so that it may be free to roam and be the wild creature and the wild animal that it was created to be. So what happened to the wild lion that's within inside of us? Society teaches us things like we aren't good enough, or things that we try too hard, or it has cliches that it's taught us, like nice guys finish last, or life is tough. We are taught to temper our energy, and that good things come to those who wait. Instead of unleashing the wild lion within us, we harness it, and we put it in a cage. My son Josiah loves to go to the zoo. And when we go to the zoo, he wants to see the lion. Before we went to the zoo the last time, I said, Josiah, what does the lion say? And he looked up at me and said, roar! But as we were at the zoo, something came to me. We were admiring the wild lion in its cage. And I realized that in the 2 years that me and my son had gone to the zoo, not once had we ever heard the roar of that lion. That lion, once upon a time, was a young cub. And it was rumbling around with the other lions inside of its cage. It would pounce on its prey, and it would growl. But it aged, and it became tame. It would never fight. It would never hunt. And it would never roar. Ladies and gentlemen, for many of us here, we need to let our lion roar again. And it's time to take that roar back. If you want to awaken the wild lion within you, you have to have ferocity. A wild lion does not sit on its perch, waiting for the gazelle to pop into its mouth. Oh no! The wild lion hunts for its prey, ripping it apart and bringing it back to its family. If we want to awaken the wild lion within us, then we have to have courage. The wild lion is brave, and it goes out in the wild and it takes risks. Because after all, if there is no risk, there is no reward. If we want to awaken the wild lion within us, we have to be focused. When the wild lion sees the gazelle and it picks it out, it does not get distracted by other gazelles. It does not care about the hyenas that will take its scraps. It sits and it waits patiently. And then it makes its move. If we want to awaken the wild lion within us, then we must have unity. Today, we know that lions live in prides. And in that pride, each lion has an integral part to play as part of the community. Even though the lion is the king of the jungle, it realizes that it still can ask for help. If we want to awaken the wild lion within us, then we must be strong like that wild lion. For the strength of that wild lion encompasses everything that it is. Emotionally, physically, and mentally, lions are strong. Not once does it let itself get distracted or else miss an opportunity to overcome an obstacle. You were once growing up to be the wild lion with ferocity, with courage, with focus, with unity, and with strength. Age and society's imposed boundaries may have caused you to harness your lion and put it inside of a cage. Today you have one choice. You can release the inner wild lion that's inside of you and awaken that wild lion, or you can let it be a simple puppet. The choice is yours.
Wasn't that a fabulous video? What do you think of that? About your lion you can awaken? And how does it relate to who are you? I'm going to ask Scott if you have any closing comments on, what does your wild lion have to do with who you are?
Well, it has everything to do with it. So there's a wild lion, just like I was saying in there, that's deep inside of you that wants to come out. It wants to be courageous. It wants to be strong. It wants to be unified. All those things. And until that wild lion comes out, until you are released, or you release yourself from that prison or that cage that I was talking about in the speech, really you're not your truest self. You haven't really just lived. So who am I has to do with you really living, and you really just living your best self, living in your truest potential, living and awakening the wild lion within you. It's so crucial. It's so critical. And in the speech, I talk about my son, Josiah. Like, he knew exactly what the lion said, but when we went to the zoo, he never ever heard the wild lion. I would love for him to hear the roar of a lion. I might have to take him out on a safari in Africa to do that. Yeah. But I want to hear him hear the real lion. And of course, part of that is just the metaphor of the wild lion, right? Because the lion is, the king. It symbolizes so many different things, right? But inside of you is a wild lion, Steve. And inside of you is a wild lion. And if you know that wild lion isn't roaring right now, then something's got to change. Something's got to be different. Otherwise, you may find that when you're 60, 70, 80 years old, and when you're capturing your life in the viewfinder that you have, and you're looking back and you're saying, okay, well, this is what I did in my life. There'll be times when you could have said, hey, I could have seized some moments. I could have lived a different destiny. I could have really captured my life and just seized the day and awakened myself. But start today, right? There's no sense having pity, on what you hadn't done in the past or you didn't do in the past. Start today. That's my encouragement for everyone there is, to figure out who you are. You want to awaken that wild lion and release it from that cage. And that is one of the hardest steps that you'll ever do, is flinging that door open and taking that first step out and then really just roaring, rah! Just like roaring, that wild lion, right? Yeah. So just getting out there and just letting yourself be free in all of those characteristics that the wild lion means to you.
Isn't this guy great? if you want a little bit more of this wild lion, just go to abundancecoaching.ca, and there's a button there you can push, put in your information, and you'll get some information from this guy. And also, if you want to watch that video again, you can go to abundancecoaching.ca/lion, and there it is. You can watch it. It's a good thing to replay a few times.